Hello, everyone. What is going on? James here, and welcome back to the Banterous Hour with myself and the co-host, well, one of the co-hosts, Mr. GC.
Hello there.
GC was telling me before the podcast started that he's not going to have his camera on because McDonald's made him ill. But I was going to ask with your PFP, because I haven't seen it for a while like this up close. Did someone
Yeah,
make that for you, or did you make that yourself on your photo
I made
software?
that one myself.
It does look very trendy, to be fair. Like it's like a Crash Bandicoot Ruby type thing. A
Yeah, well,
gem.
it's basically a more simplified version of the original logo,
Yeah.
where that was drawn by an ex. That was
Oh, okay.
that's got a whole backstory to it.
So that's got an
It
interesting, juicy backstory. But then this one is just you made it on your phone.
well, the old one. I had a picture of the logo drawn, and I had a portrait drawn of me as well.
Oh, interesting. To be honest,
Uh, and so I use them quite a bit back in the channel's younger days.
well, I was gonna say when you first changed it to that picture. At first, I thought, now I think the old one looks more like standout and authentic. But I can't lie, something about this one, it's growing on me, man. I just think it looks cool. The dark green, the blue, and the ruby, like the way it's drawn. I just think it's cool. And the
Yeah,
little blue bits that are showing off.
yeah. I think going for the more dark green was quite nice for this one
Yeah.
because it used to be like having like the cream background
Hmm.
with the edge bits being like the dark green. That
Yeah.
was nice, but having it basically merged into one, I think was the right call for this.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll just spray it. I had a cream explosion on my hands. Bloody hell, annoying. Oh, man.
There was other ones as well. If I can check, there's the original logo.
Yeah. To be honest, it did look cool back in the day, but I feel like the one you made is more standout and professional.
Yeah, yeah. Well, uh, it's easy to edit it as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see if I can get it up, but I've got the 10-year one at at the moment,
Hmm.
which is literally just adding a one to it,
Oh, okay.
which should be quite nice. Here we go. I'm hoping this will work. If this works, there we go.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty badass. Yeah.
Which I think that one looks quite nice without the one,
Yeah.
but it will be kept kept as that one when it goes back to it.
Hmm.
But that's just for this year.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, the reason you have all joined us today, if any of you have joined, at the moment, 0 viewers. Oh, your camera's on for a second. 0
I know
viewers.
I pressed the wrong
Um,
button.
the first thing I wanted to talk about was electric cars and how I feel about them years later. Originally, I thought to myself, because on our podcast we talked about electric cars, and I don't think I've archived those episodes yet. But originally, and I think no, on one of the episodes I did archive that, and it was once we had all our cameras on and everything, and recorded it on StreamYard. I did say, you know what, at the end of the day, it does look quite. It does look like in the future, electric cars are the way forward. But then, what on earth? What is that demonic thing? What on earth, George?
Drastic. I can do this. Hang on.
You're gonna put your fingers
Hello
out?
there.
Oh yeah, no.
Hello.
You should do some on your podcast where you and the puppet are talking, and then like the puppet saying edgy jokes, and you're trying to say, "Stop! Don't no!"
Have you seen this new Jaguar? It'd be better over there.
Wait, what did you say?
I said, have you seen this new Jaguar? It would be better with an F. So,
Oh, moving on. I said, could you save that for your podcast?
yeah,
Just like
can
how
do.
he's going. Brilliant. Anyway, so I can't do this with that on the camera. I need to just get you out of here while I just say what I want to say. So originally I thought to myself, oh man, electric cars are the future. They're this, they're that, they're so good. But then in the long run, I thought to myself, the batteries after 5 years are going to create loads of toxic waste. Electric cars already cost a lot of money. At the time, I thought, oh, maybe they'll go down in value and become more affordable for people. No, 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 no. They still cost a load of money. The batteries cost thousands to replace, and they're going to be very bad hazardous waste because they're toxic. So, like with toxic waste, going everywhere. I just don't think they're really that good for the future. And what I don't like as well is the people that make the decisions on electric cars are people that can afford electric cars. It doesn't matter to them. They can just think, oh yes, I can afford an electric car, drive it around, oh yes, spiffing good day, la di da di da. But in reality, the common man cannot afford electric cars, and the elites, the people that make these rules, don't seem to want to hear any of it. They don't seem to believe it. They just think, oh, everyone can afford a Tesla. Thank you, goodbye. At the end of the day, though, the main thing that I find really lame is that companies are being, pushed to just make their new cars electric, and I just feel like it's going to end up with a lot of the main franchises going out of business. Just going to quickly look it up. Um, I mean, even Honda, it just says plans to exclusively sell electric and fuel cell powered vehicles in North America by 2040. That's crazy. Audi plans to launch its new internal combustion car in 2026 and become purely electric by 2033. Madness. Pardon me. Plans to make the brand all electric BMW by 2030. I don't know. I just feel like them trying to make loads of new cars and make it all electric. It's just a bit worrying. And the thing is, because you got Toyota, looking into hydrogen so much, their cars are going to be the cars that people buy, or they'll just go to second-hand dealers, and then there won't really be much competition for the main dealer. So those businesses could potentially go bust, or they're going to have to find other avenues to make money. So I just don't really think that it's that good, to be honest with you. And also, when it comes to them being better for the environment, there's loads of other things that could actually be done to benefit the environment, like building loads of solar panels, trying to invest in finding renewable energy, maybe trying to invest in space travel and see if, I know it sounds a bit daft, but see if a place like Mars has any resources. Like if the governments had actually grinded like they used to, like when they got to the moon and all that stuff. At the end of the day, if they grinded like that for all these years, probably would have got to Mars by now. But yeah, it's the most important thing is renewable energy. But the thing is, it says apparently there's iron on Mars, aluminium. Might look up if there's any oil. It just says topic of ongoing research, but there's no definitive evidence to confirm there's existence of oil on Mars. Never mind. I'll just add George back. He's been gone for a while. George, what do you think of all the stuff that I've said? Agree, disagree, or your own takes?
I think you're right. I was going to say about Toyota with the hydrogen. They're going to be ahead of the game when it comes to it. But they're only going electric is because they're trying to ban petrol and diesel cars.
Yeah.
So they're basically on a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, because I remember now in the UK, it's till wasn't it meant to be 2035 that all the cars,
I think
all the
so.
new
Yeah,
cars need to be electric? I might just look it up quickly.
I think it's 2030 or 2035.
Originally, it was something stupid. Yeah, it says so. It says in um, I'll just change the screen. So it says, sorry, it says in the UK, all new cars and vans sold after 2035 will need to be 100% zero emission, meaning petrol and diesel will no longer be sold, although hybrid sales are allowed until 2035. So all the main dealers, when it comes to new cars, all new cars, they will have to sell electric vehicles. How are people going to afford it? It's just disgusting. Hold on. Okay, used cars, the ban. Thank goodness, yeah. If the ban selling bloody second-hand cars, that'd be absolutely infuriating. The ban on new petrol and diesel cars only applies to new
Well, second-hand
vehicles.
cars will basically be useless anyway because
You
after
reckon?
like 5-10 years, the batteries are going to be fucked.
Uh, uh,
A
I
lot, a lot of them are.
it it
So
depends.
I like the battery acid.
Oh, are you on about the electric cars?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I meant. Yeah, sorry. So I was sorry. Well, by used cars, I meant second-hand cars. So they'll still be able to. The ban on diesel and petrol only applies to new vehicles, so you can still buy and sell diesel and petrol cars after 35. Just they have to be older. They have to be previous ones, which I think that's what
yeah,
people are going for. I think the second-hand petrol and diesel cars will be very popular, and a lot of people still won't be bothering with electric cars. They'll just keep trying to do up their older cars
definitely, yeah,
because I think that's the way forward. I know you can argue eventually it might go downhill, but at the end of the day, like if you look after your car well enough and keep getting it serviced and keep going to like decent mechanics and stuff, or even learning a thing or two yourself, it might be all right for years and years and years and years. At the end of the day, some people have looked after cars for bloody ages. I mean, your car, you've got like cars that are from 96 and 97, and you can still
yeah,
drive them around now. My car's from 2004. One of my mates at work, his car's from 2004. And Touchwood, my car's still going strong. His car's still going strong. As much as all the jokes that I make about MGs, George's cars are still going strong. So
yeah,
I feel it is possible. Like you got to remember, like there are still. Are there any new petrol and diesels being made? I'm guessing there might
yeah, yeah.
be a few.
A lot. There's quite a few hybrids,
Yeah.
but uh, but you do have normal petrol and diesel still.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, okay. So then there might be like I don't know, the latest BMW 2024. Are they all like electric or are they
No, the BMW still have their normal engines,
Oh, that's good then. Yeah, it does
but
say
some of them,
like,
uh, a lot of cars nowadays do have like electric systems to help them.
oh, okay, fair enough. So at least then you've still got some. So at least some of the new cars that are being made, you've got some. So there's still some petrol and diesel ones out there. So let's be real.
Mm,
Let's say the final ones like 2033, 2034, and then you've got cars that you can probably make last for 30 to 40 years or even longer. You should be fine, really.
mm.
And if you look after them
Uh,
well,
uh, and we will work on electric cars. They're gonna be a lot harder to work on.
yeah, more dangerous.
Yeah,
And as you say, harder to work on as well. It's just a completely different ball game, isn't it, for like mechanics? Hello. Oh, anyway, and that's interesting because I know we haven't jumped onto the
yeah. But I'm
Grand.
still here. My thing went
Oh,
off.
I know we haven't jumped onto the Grand Tour yet, but that's partly why Clarkson's packing it in. That was one of his reasons. He was just like, "Yes, these are boring now. I'm not interested."
Yeah, yeah.
Which you can't really blame him in some aspects.
No, you can't blame him at all. You're
Uh,
losing the heart of the car, really.
yeah, exactly.
Like
Um,
the engines, they would make different noises. Every single one of them would be different.
yeah. But if you look up online, I swear there's still a lot of countries that are opposing the like the EVs, you know, which I think is
I
good.
think the EV stuff will crash and burn, to be honest with you.
Hopefully, hopefully it does, because it's not good forcing companies to have to make all their new stuff the way that the
No.
elites want it to be made. But yeah, so I'm looking at the. So it looks like that a lot of the countries are just following by it, which is a bit annoying. I'm a bit surprised that like bloody Poland and Hungary. But there you go. Maybe they just think, oh, let's just not bother fighting this one. We've won other battles. This isn't important.
I find it funny how where do all their parts come from? China,
Yeah, exactly. And the China going to all
uh,
electric.
which their parts are basically useless. You look at these new MGs are doing; they're fall apart. The bodies come away from the chassis.
Hmm.
In accidents, the airbags don't go off. They don't know how to make airbags properly.
Yeah.
This one woman crashed her one, couldn't get out of a seatbelt, and burned in the car alive. And then straight away, the Chinese government coming out and saying, "Oh, there's no problem with our seatbelts. It's all okay."
So the seatbelt got set on fire.
No, the seatbelt wouldn't let her out of the seat,
That's horrible.
and she burned in a seat.
That's absolutely awful.
I know.
But I looked it up online. It does actually say Italy, Portugal, Slovakia, Bulgaria, Romania want to delay the European Union plan to effectively ban the sale of new petrol and diesel cars from 2035 by 5 years. So I guess hopefully they just keep delaying it, or they just say, look, we're not doing it. We're not
Mm.
bothered.
Oh,
So
and we shouldn't be a part of it.
yeah, we shouldn't. I don't even know why. I don't even know why. I don't. I think this is the first time we've been properly political on this podcast, but I don't get why Boris Johnson originally agreed to it and was promoting it years ago. We need to be more green and more net zero, and then obviously all the other leaders since have just been kissing up to it, and Keir Starmer's loving it to bits. So we've just been let down by all our leaders. You know,
Look at the stupid. That's why.
I mean, Boris Johnson, Keir Starmer, Liz Truss, Rishi, they can all afford loads of electric cars, but at the end of the day, the
Yeah,
common man can't. You know, they can't afford a new electric car battery
I
every
wouldn't be
5 years.
surprised if all that Addy's bought Keir Starmer an electric car at this point. He
Yeah.
buys him everything else down to his tighty whities
Yeah, he probably gets a lot of stuff bloody brought for him. But yeah, like at the end of the day, it's just,
and his fucking butt plug.
and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just such a sad controlling thing. I'm looking up seeing if there are any countries. Like, I wonder what um if it's forced in, like, I don't know, Australia and New Zealand. I'm
I don't know.
guessing. Let's look it up, shall we? Oh, well, there's no
Yeah,
enforcement. There's no so it doesn't say the companies have to, but it just says New Zealand aims to have 100% of new cars entering the fleet be electric by 2035. The government recommending, not forcing, with the government recommending a phase out of fossil fuel vehicles imports by then, according to the Climate Change Commission. Which I still strongly disagree with this stuff at the end of the day, but at least they're not forcing the companies. At least it's not compulsory. It's just a recommendation. But
I
there you go.
think give it 2 years, and the government will start giving illegal immigrants like brand new electric cars to drive around in.
Yeah, yeah, most probably. But to be honest, I hope that in the long run, people just think, you know what? What's the point of all this control and enforcement? Let's just not vote for people that are going to do this stuff. Let's vote for people who won't do this stuff. My main man Nigel Farage, he won't be doing this stuff.
Mm.
So
Well, well, dictator Starmer's doing everything he can to be the next Kim Jong Un.
yeah, at least Kim Jong, as much as he's or Kim Jong, or however you
I
pronounce
will say that he looks after his people, doesn't he?
I was about to say, yeah. He
Yeah.
although if you play up, he does treat you really badly.
Shoot,
Like
yeah.
he'll kill you. He does actually put North Korea first, and the border protection's there. I mean, I think they're a little bit too good, but at least he protects the borders. They're a little.
I
Well, I
think
wouldn't even say good.
that's the
They're a bit
right idea
too.
with the borders.
No, but Georgia, I think he just doesn't want anyone going in at all, even like
I
people
don't
from South
blame him.
Korea. What? So you wouldn't let South Korea in? They're pretty sound. They're they're cool people. Like it's like not letting people from Wales come into England.
But well, in that aspect, but yeah, because they're basically still a part of the country.
Hmm.
But like we've just hit 30,000 immigrants in since Starmer was put in charge.
No,
So
no. It's not about that. He just doesn't want to let anyone in. He doesn't let anyone in illegally, and I agree with that. But like, he goes ballistic if anyone tries to get in. Like his
yeah,
border
well
wall.
that's too far. But what I'm
Yeah,
saying is, like, spending having 30,000 coming in from whenever Storm was put in charge.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But anyway, with the electric cars, I don't really have a lot else to say, to be honest. I just think they're not going to be that good and useful. I mean, the thing is, right, I've got a few stories about cars. So this is something good about like normal petrol and diesel cars. So my granddad, he had a RAV4 and it came with the engine warning light for 10 years, didn't have any issues with it. It was just like a little glitch. You know what I'm saying? With an electric
Yeah,
car, like a warning comes up, you're going to have to go in, they're going to have to plug it in, check everything, you're going to be charged a load of money, and it's just like a bag of arse, and there's probably something wrong with it. But with older
I know
cars,
somebody who went to have their electric car go and put have a diagnostic check.
yeah,
Wanted £5,000 for that.
that's disgusting. That's horrible, man.
I
That's
know.
absolutely horrendous. I was going to quickly say with the RAV4 though, it what happened was it only needed maintenance and little bits and bobs, new tire once in a while, not really any issues, and he had it from 2008 till 2021.
Yeah,
Years and years. You won't be getting that with electric cars, as we always say. The battery needs replacing every 5 years. So yeah, bag of arse. Before we move on to the Grand Tour, have you got any things you want to say before we move on?
I just think it's just watch what happens, and they won't last because you're forcing it on people, which they won't like. People don't like electric cars in general. There's safety hazard because if you're a child playing it outside, you don't hear them come and you could get squished by one.
Yeah.
When they do blow up and get set on fire, you can't go and put them out. You have to wait for them to burn out.
Hmm.
They're they're not good at all,
Yeah.
and hydrogen is going to be the solution. And even Top Gear was saying that from like 2008.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I've got to say on that.
Top Gear been saying it since 2008.
Yeah. There's a line that Carlson says, "Kids, if you in science class and the teacher about hydrogen, listen closely because the man who figures it out is going to be the richest person in the world."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was a good prediction then, because to be honest, these people are like quite rich, like the high level environmentalist people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very minted. Um, oh no.
What's the matter?
Oh, George. So I've opened Discord, and the podcast would have had to have been just stopped You know the pictures that you sent me where I put tweet underneath? Can you delete them? Because the podcast will get banned.
Okay.
We can't be having that come up on the screen.
I forgot about that.
That would have. I'm so glad I opened it beforehand, because then I would have just been like, "You're more than a tweet. You're a bloody." You know, I would have gone mad. Thanks for getting rid of them.
There we go.
No, I just have to bloody turn Discord off now. Yeah, so fair enough. Now on to the review of the Grand Tour finale. Pretty much the end of the whole Top Gear Grand Tour saga. To be honest, I haven't watched any of the Grand Tour Top Gear for a while. Me and George had this deal. GC, I said to GC, watch the Four Monkeys. The Four Monkeys, that's a bloody Brit film channel. The 12 Monkeys film, and I will watch the Grand Tour finale. And George found the 12 Monkeys quite boring and not good, and it is what it is. Obviously, you could play my reaction to when he first gave it a 3 out of 10. I wasn't best pleased. I wasn't best pleased, but it was quite funny. But yeah, it is what it is. However, I have to say, I always judge things objectively. I'm not just going to poo-poo the Grand Tour just for the sake of it. So I'll tell you the truth. It was absolutely great. I enjoyed it an awful lot. I felt like they did the best they could for a finale, you know, and it felt insanely sentimental at the end. So the challenge was to drive, wasn't it driving across Zimbabwe to one of the countries next to it, to get
Yeah.
to where they went to on their first episode. That was very cool. And the twist was they picked cars that weren't the best. So Clarkson's was a Monte Carlo. James Mays was a Stag, and Hammond's was a Capri.
Yeah.
And what made it so fun? Obviously, they weren't going to pick the best cars, were they? They're not going to pick a good off-roader. You know, they just pick some cars which aren't designed for that sort of travel.
Well, they
So
did pick ones that they all always wanted.
yeah, that too. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And it had issues along the way, and they got to show off their mechanic knowledge. Obviously, they're not the best mechanics ever, but they're pretty good. They know their stuff.
Yeah.
They know their way around a car, and it was just funny, you know, seeing like what issues they had, which things broke down. I swear he had the Hammond had the exhaust sticking out his car at one point, like he had it in the front seat with him sticking through the roof, which is pretty funny. Not through the roof, like.
Yeah, well, it had a lot of exhaust problems because
Yeah,
it broke off.
so that was pretty funny. They got stopping some nice hotels along the way. The banter was just great, some great back and forths. Yeah, it was pretty good. I like the bit where there's all the crocodiles as well. I was like, bloody hell, this is a bit nerve wracking. But then it's funny how Clarkson
Yeah.
goes to buy the because they all bought their own boats with money, and then Clarkson bought one with a bar on board, which was pretty nice. And they all had a laugh on there. But then Hammonds was getting bloody. Was it? No, it was Mays. I think it was sailing away, and then they're like, "Quick, I've got to get back to it." And there was just a shit ton of
Yeah.
crocodiles in there. Then the next day, Hammonds was actually sinking, which is crazy. So he had to bloody. It is obviously you know he's going to be all right because otherwise we see on the news Hammond either killed by a crocodile or seriously hurt by a crocodile. So we know he's all
Yeah.
right, but it was still a bit
Well,
worrying for him.
it's hoping May crashed that. What is it now? I think it's either a Subaru or a ah. I forget what it's called now. One of them sorts of cars when he had that crash, it was all over the news.
You're on about Hammond? Is that when he flew off the cliff, or am I thinking of something else?
No. May smashed the whole side of his car up.
Was it horrendous then, the crash?
We could probably watch it if you wanted to. It's only like a 10-second thing.
I'll just look at some pictures online. Yeah, that is pretty bad.
Just
Yeah,
type in James May Grand Tour crash. It's the yellow one.
yeah, I'm seeing it. It's looking pretty bad, to be
He
honest.
basically killed the car. It's completely bent up.
Yeah, crazy. Uh, pardon me. So yeah, that was a good intense moment. They drove through some towns in Africa. I like the bit as well where they were chilling out, and then they're actually they got some iron. They found some iron and like made their own stuff. That is impressive. They're proper good handymen considering they're like TV celebs with millions of pounds. They're really
Yeah,
good at stuff, man. Like doing that in the middle of
but
nowhere. Cool.
it was proper silver.
Yeah. Clarkson's had like some horns on it. I think May had he made a steering wheel out of metal, and I don't know much about cars, but
Yeah,
I know one thing: metal gets bloody hot, man. And so I'm surprised.
yeah,
I don't know how he coped. Well, he put gloves on, didn't he? But like, that would have been a bloody
yeah.
killer in the African heat.
Well, when they did it with the RVs, um, Clarkson had a top deck where you could drive from. Well, because they in the desert, it was getting so hot you
Yeah,
couldn't touch it.
yeah, must have been awful. And what did Hammond do? I can't remember what he made out of his iron.
No, I'm just trying to think. Again, no, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. What else did I like about it? I'm trying to think now. I mean, the ending
I
was
like the old cars.
yeah, that was pretty badass.
Seeing them turn up, that was lovely.
Mhm.
Because they were missing for ages. Because you only had Mays and Clarkson's cars there because Hammond's always had Oliver, which was
Yeah.
the third car.
Mhm.
So just seeing that the other two survived was lovely, and
That they
that
were still
Clarkson
there.
had its original light.
Yeah, that was pretty badass. Yeah, the Mercedes and the what was the other one? What was Mays? I can't remember. Still pretty cool though.
Mays was a Mercedes.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Clarkson's was an earlier version of the Delta Integrale,
Ah,
the same car we had in that episode.
nice, fair play. So that was cool. And obviously the final bit where they walk into that tree and the music's playing. I do get why Callum's Corner shed a tear. It didn't really.
Yeah,
It, you know me. Sometimes when I find something really relatable, or sometimes something can just hit me and it makes me shed a tear. I didn't really. I felt goosebumps, but I didn't feel that sad. I thought it's just three dudes who have probably the best reality TV show ever in their time on
mm,
Top Gear. And as much as I haven't watched the whole of the Grand Tour, pretty damn good. Like the bits I've seen are quite still up there. They're still up there for a great reality TV show. So, I mean, don't get me
yeah, there's
wrong, I have
some
a good
great
laugh.
bits. I'm guessing because you haven't like watched year by year
Yeah,
and been like so invested.
yeah, exactly. The people who are really invested, I do get why they would feel a bit emotional towards the end of it because it's gone on for so long. But yeah, I honestly think the Top Gear. I watched a load of it in 20, I think late 2019, a lot of 2020, and a bit of 2021. Well, not all of it, but a fair bit of it, and it's pretty damn good. I do enjoy it an awful lot. And the Grand Tour I've seen a little bit of, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it feels a little bit more silly and daft and like entertainment-ish. This finale didn't, but this finale felt like Top Gear. But some of their episodes just felt a bit more like they were just acting a bit daft, and it was a bit more put on and fake. Not, it wasn't bad. I just sort of thought it's not as good as
The
Top Gear.
final season of Top Gear was a lot more scripted
Was it really?
because
I didn't know.
of the BBC. But when they went
Oh.
in and did it themselves, they got it so they could do what they wanted to do.
Well, the first few episodes of the Grand Tour felt a bit scripted and silly, but it was blatantly obvious that it was scripted and silly, so I guess it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I might try and watch a bit more Top Gear and maybe bits and pieces of the Grand Tour, see what I think. See
I
what
think watching the last season of the Grand Tour, you probably enjoy that because uh, season 4 and season 5 are basically just massive road trips that they do.
Oh, nice! I do enjoy those types of
Like
episodes.
like 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 Seaman, that was a them all on boats. He
I
had
thought you were going to
sand
say
job.
something else, and I thought you were going to bring up some Rule 34 nonsense. I thought, what's George on about?
They did all boats. They did sand job, which was basically Dakar cars. So basically sports cars like uh, they had a Aston Martin, a
Yeah,
Jag, and a Maserati, and they made them into basically 4x4 rally cars.
fair dues.
So you probably enjoy some of them.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I might try and get round to watching them at some point. But yeah, what else was I going to say about it? Yeah, I guess the ending was just pretty damn cool. All the cast and crew celebrating, and yeah, it was just nice, wholesome little ending. They did their best they could for the finale. I really enjoyed it. I'd say it was great. I'd give it a 8 out of 10. Enjoyed it an awful lot. It felt like a movie. It felt pretty grand.
Brilliant.
I'm guessing you're going to give it a 10.
Oh, of course, I'm giving it a 10.
Fair enough. I do get it. Like, if you're a big fan and you watched it for years, then that's completely fair.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I guess have you got anything else you want to say, or should we move on to the segments?
I think we should move on.
Cool. So let's get into this then. Um, oh yeah, we're gonna. Oh, you sent me the other thing that we will discuss as well. Um, I'll just scroll up. So here we have George's Junk. This is the segment where George shows me some cars and I say if I drive them or not. Let's get it up then.
Yes.
So here we have this. Um, there isn't any context behind this, is there? There isn't any some mass murderer who drove this or crazy
They're
side.
all cars that have been in the Grand Tour specials.
Okay. I like this. I think it looks pretty badass. I'll drive this any day of the week.
Yeah, that was Jeremy's off-road Bentley.
Fair enough. Yeah, it looks pretty badass. This one, yeah, why not? It's really trendy. I'll drive it.
I love a Stag.
Hmm.
They're fantastic little cars.
Yeah, might as well drive it. And Subaru. Ooh, you would
The
look a bit
Martin, the
saft.
Subaru.
You would look a little bit saft with all these different colours on it, but I don't care. I
Well,
don't care
no,
if it comes out.
well, no,
I
that
like.
there's a Martini Colours, basically one of the best racing teams ever done, basically.
Ah, fair enough.
So
Um,
like a lot of cars that having like minis have got it all the way up to being BMWs.
I'm guessing you drive all these three as well.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I'd say it would be a hard choice between the Bentley and the Stag. Because as I say, the Bentley looks fantastic, but the Stag is a brilliant car.
Yeah. And then we have some news. McDonald's have released some Minecraft type toys. So, well, a Minecraft type Mackies. So what's
Yeah,
up with these?
so
These chicken nuggets actually different, or
the chicken nuggets are the same.
oh, okay, so
It's basically a larger Happy Meal
mm-hmm.
for adults.
Oh, okay, interesting. Fair enough.
So like, I had the normal Happy Meal to compare it.
Mm-hmm.
In America, they had boxes for the adult Happy Meal, and I
That's pretty
thought they were
bad.
going to be Happy Meal, but they didn't, which that was just disappointing.
Yeah.
So it lost the point during that. But yeah, you can see the boxes, all of them, even the fly box has more
Mm-hmm.
like a Lego not a Lego theme, a Minecraft themed
Yeah.
uh, box on it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 6 different toys to, to guess. So there's a Grimace one, there's the hamburger, the bird, uh, and so I got my one, which I will now turn on the camera. There we go. So it comes in a little box like this, and if I can get it out, comes in McDonald's themed wrapping.
Oh, that's pretty trendy.
Oh, I forgot about this. I completely forgot. Hang on. I'll share that afterwards. So
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's themed paper, and you get one of these, which is a McDonald's potion. So the potion
Okay,
from the game as like a marker, as like a McDonald's one with a straw on top.
fair dues.
So that was my one. And I forgot about this. I didn't realise. But you get trading cards. So you
Mm-hmm.
get. I got that one,
Oh, nice.
which has the McDonald's logo on it. Funny, I we do have of the McDonald's logo on this. I didn't realise, which
Oh,
is
cool.
embossed. Yeah, you get a card with each one. So I'm gonna try and get all of them. I want the Grimace one the most. This is Grimace as an egg.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could get a first look at Callum's Corner's head.
Come on, mate. You shouldn't. That's something actually interesting to quickly talk about if you've finished your Mackie story. Uh,
Yeah, it's actually good.
so Callum, unfortunately, had an egg thrown at him, and everyone is laughing their arse off about it in the Callum's Corner community. I mean, I found the video a bit funny, but when I heard that someone threw an egg at him, I thought, nah, this isn't really that good. You know, it's not really a laughing matter. But he's just made it into a laughing matter because of his reaction and bringing it up to everyone.
Apparently, it's been happening for months in Benbridge. So there's a whole like police investigation.
Yeah. Don't ask
Are we gonna watch it?
how this is doing there.
What? Oh, you got good taste.
No, unfortunately, from your perspective, no, that's not. Well, sorry, from your perspective, it is good taste, but no, I'm not looking up anime women. But I would if I was a bloody someone who liked looking up anime women, I'd bloody go mad about it and go, yippee, look at me. You know, I wouldn't keep it secret. But what was I going to look up now? Oh yeah, Benbridge egg throwing scandal. I don't know. So has this been happening to a lot of people?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of a shame.
And there's a police investigation about it. And Cam's got in trouble because the corner was saying he's basically going to sexually assault this kid
But who said he's
with the
gonna,
egg.
I was saying he's going to shove it up his arse, not second shelf on the left.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
and the corner was saying that as a meme,
mm-hmm.
and then Cannon goes and saying, "Well, it's not sexual abuse. If they don't like it, they have to like it for it to be sexual abuse."
What? That's a bit messed up.
Yeah,
That's very strange.
so I sent you the clip a few days ago. But yeah, yes. Well,
Unless he's just having some one-off edgy joke, I don't really.
I think he just messed up his words and
Yeah.
made it sound really bad.
Hey, yo, and welcome to Callum's Corner. I am livid. I am absolutely fuming. This goes out directly to one of you, some little teenage twerp who has egged me. Literally, I had egg on my face. This is a warning because I'm going to hunt you down, right? I was hurting no one. Going about my bloody business, trying to enjoy a lovely springtime day, right? I scooted down to my old village. I thought I'd go get myself a breakfast. You know, stupidly thought I could enjoy myself. Go and have a lovely all-day breakfast down at the harbour in the cafe, enjoy the sunshine, right? I get down towards Benbridge Bloody Town, and I'm going round by the library, filtering round, right? And some little twat in the churchyard has popped up, some little teenage dirtbag, and he's lost it. I can't. I could have lost an eye. You could have taken an eye out. Eggy's sharp.
If you look at his eyebrow, he's still egging it.
Taking a tumble.
Oh.
Taking a tumble. A scooter could have been.
Where? Which one?
The one closest to you.
What, this one then?
Yeah. This right where the mouse is where the egg is.
I can't really see it, mate. It just looks like bloody grey hair.
I think when he turns more to the side, you can see it better then.
It's ridiculous. I think.
Can't see it, mate.
Oh, well, it turns off somewhere in the video.
The car's going to hit me as they came round or something as I was down. It's disgusting. I had to come back and clean myself up and stuff. Like my jacket is probably ruined. There's shells of shell in the seams of my bloody jacket. It's new, my new springtime jacket. It's shiny as well. And eggs are slimy. Shiny and slimy together is a bloody nightmare. Trying to pick the little bits out of it. It's disgusting, that. I will find you. You absolute twat. I will find you and I will punish you. I'm going to hard boil up a boatload of bloody eggs, right? And I'll be carrying them round with me. Hard bloody boiled, lacquered and varnished.
Hard bloody boiled.
Weapons in my hands. I'll loz one at you, knock you out, and I'll tell you where the rest of them are going. Up your arse. I've got long bloody arms. You won't be second shelf on the left. You'll need a bloody pair of bloody binoculars to see them. Warning. Dickhead.
I love Mondays.
Brilliant. Absolutely. That's going to be YTP to a new level. Up your
I'm sure he is.
He already is.
Yeah, they were doing it as he's been shoving eggs up his own arse and the old lady's arse.
Oh, you'll have to try and send me that YTP later. That'll be a good laugh.
I'll try and send you the stream clip.
Yeah. I did actually think we might as well throw a few more segments out there quickly. Yes, new. Yes. Oh, well, yes, no. Yes, new. So, this is the segment where I say to whoever's on the podcast with me, I give them a question, and then I have to guess their price for the question. So, today's question is, George, how much for you to join the... I should have done a car related. Oh, we can do a car related one another time. How much for you to join the Vince McMahon Kiss My Ass Club? Where you have to kiss Vince McMahon's ass on telly. 100 quid.
Less.
Less?
Yes, less. I'm not kissing a sex offender's ass.
Oh, what do you mean? So wait, but you're saying you want less money to do it? So what, 50 quid instead?
Wait, yeah, up.
I was so confused then.
More money.
Saying Trish Stratus or Tori Wilson. All right, $1,000.
No.
$4,000.
No.
10 grand.
A peck for 10 grand.
30 grand.
Still a peck.
40 grand.
It's gonna have to be like triple digits at least. So
Okay.
No.
A peck technically still can. All right. 200 grand.
Yeah, go on then.
Fair enough. To be honest, he's just a horrible, evil bloke, isn't he? So crazy bloke. I don't even know why he made so many people join the Kiss My Ass Club. That's ridiculous. It's just strange. Even some members of his own family, like Shane McMahon, was unfortunately in it, which is weird. By accident, but it's weird that he decided for that to happen in the storyline. Also, he got his head shoved up Big Show's ass in Hell in a Cell.
He probably enjoyed it.
Maybe because I don't see why. If you're the person who writes all the stories, why would you have it so Big Show gets his wrestling? What are they called? Wrestling. Like it's not a bikini. It's not a wrestling mankini gets pulled down, so Big
Yeah,
Show's arse is there. And
tights, basically.
wrestling. No, not wrestling tights. It's the thing that goes all the way over your shoulders.
It's because it's got to be a mankini then.
Yeah, a wrestling mankini. They pull that off the Big Show and his arse is there, and then Vince just gets his face shoved right into Big Show's arse. Like, if you're making the stories, why would you have that done to yourself? It doesn't make any sense. It's just demented. Well, no, okay, so I shouldn't actually. No, it is a bit demented. Like, Big Show doesn't want people's faces up his arse unless maybe it's his wife's. Why would he? So you're humiliating the Big Show, and then you're humiliating yourself as Vince McMahon. It's just
I don't think the Big Show is too Geordie.
what about the Big Show's True Geordie?
Well, what's Geordie did like a lot of bum near him.
No, well, he there's DMs with him asking a woman to poo on him, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. It is just demented, really. Like I was about to say, if because I was thinking, Big Show's wife might enjoy that, but the Big Show doesn't want Vince McMahon's face up there, and I don't get why Vince wants that to happen to him. Just very strange. Do you want to give me one for the laughs?
Oh, yeah. Go on.
I haven't had a question for ages because Liam can never come up with one, and then but you always come up with the funny ones.
Would you rather drive around in it? Oh, let's say, hang on.
No, you have to give one question, and then you.
I know it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much would I have to give you to drive around in a Cyrus truck whilst wearing a Ku Klux Klan mask or
What?
not hood?
A Cybertruck? What the hell's a Cybertruck?
Have you ever seen? It's literally in the thumbnail.
Oh, those the electric cars. Oh,
The big ones. Yes. So if you drive around in one of them or wearing a Ku Klux Klan hood,
all right. Give me some prices then.
£100.
No, what a rubbish
99
sign.
quid.
No,
£50.
you're an idiot. Why do you think I'd accept a low offer to do something that stupid and potentially get
Yeah,
myself killed?
I thought I'd do things like that in your spare time anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right then.
It agrees.
Yeah, Joe.
1,000 quid.
No,
2,000.
no,
7,000.
no,
26,000.
no,
40 million.
no.
£5.
You did. No.
100 million.
No.
How much is Elon worth? Hang on. $327 billion.
Yep, you've got me there. So
Okay.
I would.
That's all of Elon's worth, by the way.
Yeah. So the thing is, I don't even want to know how much you do it for because you're a mad edgelord. But me, I disagree with
10
it
quid, I
morally.
just told you.
What you do it for 327 billion? I thought you'd only do it
No,
for 2 quid.
10 quid.
So basically, I morally disagree with it, and also I could potentially get killed and my reputation ruined. So like, why would I risk that? You know what I'm saying? So it has to be worthwhile.
Yeah, well, it's quickly crazy that's what wing people about, so you would be in danger.
But I guess it depends what area you do it in. But it's still a bit risky, you know. It's not right.
And usually in London, the car would probably be blown up.
Well, you'd be just be
Well, yeah.
So it depends. Obviously, if it's an area where I'm going to get killed, then I just wouldn't do it. But if it's an area where, but again, I just hate that stuff. I hate it. I hate like evil groups and stuff. But obviously, if you're going to get, if I have to give a price, then 327 million. But obviously, I like to try and answer the question because I know Liam, he always goes, "No, I'm not answering that question." With would you rather and certain questions, he just goes, "No, I'm not answering that." I remember, I think once I said to him, "How much for a Rikishi stink face?" But then you've got to go, "Yes," after you've had it done. And he said, "Well, you've changed."
So he didn't do that for free.
and then he it was like 100 million, and I said, "Hold on, 100 million, Liam? Are you mental?" And he went, "Well, I would have done it for a lot less, but if I have to go, yes, I wouldn't. That costs a lot more."
That's the only thing that stopped him. He would have done the stink face for about five. When I the issue is an extra like 95,000 pound, 95,000 pounds.
Well, you mean 999, 900.
Yeah. I know. I was just making it shorter.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, pretty well. It was probably like I think 1 million, but then he said it right, he up the stakes because of that having to go. Yes. Anyway, we've done that. How about a bit of not yes, no. Job slobs. We should probably do a would you rather segment, and that'd be interesting. I think we've done a few in the past, but we haven't stuck.
Yeah, could do.
But anyway, yeah. So job slobs. Today's job slobs are. Let me think. Would you rather be the star of the WWE, like one of the top dogs, or be like a co-host with James May, Hammond, and Clarkson like years ago?
Hammond Clarkson, May, definitely.
Yeah, fair play. Same here, because the WWE is so risky and there's so many politics behind the scenes and madness. But at least obviously there's risks with Hammond, Clarkson, and May because they go into dangerous places. Sometimes, however, you got the crew there with you, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to have a lot of fun, and you'd enjoy it a lot because you know a lot about cars. So
yeah, definitely.
Do you want to give me one, or should we? Actually, no. We both answered with job subs. So I guess we can end it there. Then, any final thoughts?
I was going to do. I would rather do blackface or yellow face, but I'll leave that one for next time.
No, that's not a job, George. That's not an occupation. You mentalist.
Well, are you saying that people can't get jobs, James?
No, those words never came out of my mouth. I said, asking someone, would you rather do blackface or yellow face is not a real question about a job. You don't paint yourself a different color just to, just for a job. That doesn't make sense. There's no job online that says paint yourself blue, paint yourself this, paint yourself that.
Yes, there is. There's the people that dress up as statues and have to paint themselves.
Yeah, but it just doesn't require. You have to dress up though as well, and you're painting yourself like a rock grey color. That's a statue. You're not painting yourself like a skin color to piss everyone off, are you?
No.
So there you go. I guess we'll nicely wrap up there. Then we do have a podcast for tomorrow as well, which should be a very interesting one. I'll probably do a generally knowledgeable tomorrow, like segments that we missed today. So like generally knowledgeable, maybe legit or a bit in George's addiction. See what time we get. We can wrap up there though. Any final messages, George? Any final messages or thoughts?
There will be a full review coming out for the McDonald's thing.
Oh,
so keep an eye out for that. That will probably be out either tomorrow or Friday.
Sounds good, bro. Fair play to you.
But yeah.
Well, in that one there, then. All I got to say for today. Thank you for watching. Take care. Have a good one. See you. Laters.